Ever since Sarah's confession, Rudo's attitude towards her completely changed. Why does Sarah have Rune's memories inside of her? Did Sid actually intend to bring Rune back to life like this? Calling herself Rune, behaving like Rune. Something as simple as that will have been child's play for Sid. But that isn't Rune. That will have been nothing but a fake, created copy of Rune. Just what was Sid thinking? There are no merits to this. That's not true at all. Sid's original plan for these sisters was to introduce them to the church and let them take care of the patients. As proof that I brought Sarah to the abbot the other day. Not once or the entire time we were there did they realize that Sarah was a machine. Despite all that, they still gave us their disapproval.
Honestly, this is just disgusting. There's a man alive who'd ever feel comfortable around that bucket of balls. I can't even tell when it's around or not because it doesn't look alive. I just look at their face. Who knows what's going on inside his head?
I wholeheartedly agree with you. Even if, as the members of Lab 9 also passionately assert, that Sarah has the mana mechanisms to mimic emotion, what merit is there in being able to reproduce that function? I'd love to hear some concrete, useful applications of this. Well, the fact that the church has denied the proposal means that there will be another hurdle to jump when it comes to using them in Savit's Medica. If we continue to shove this new model of sister down their throats, then we will be sowing unnecessary discord between us and the people whom we've worked so hard to partner with. We will not use it in the Medica, nor will we use it in the church. In other words, there are no merits to mass producing these. Rudo, why are you so stubborn about this? I wouldn't have expected that opinion from you. She may be the one only automaton built in this entire world that's been built and equipped with a so-called emotional mechanism. If Sid was able to recreate something like that, then who knows what other mana-powered inventions lay ahead. Just what is a person? What is the conscious? What are emotions? This may lead to huge discoveries about the very philosophies of humans themselves. Cool. How does that affect your bottom line, though? Because you guys are running a business here. Certainly, mass production may be out of the question, but does that mean we can just disregard her entirely? I too refuse to change my opinion on this. At the very least, I believe that it's far too early to scrap her. And here we are, back to square one. Albus, what do you think of all this? I think that it's far too early to dismantle her as well. While the systems running inside her certainly pique my interest, I can't even begin to understand what Sid's intentions were. I'm slowly beginning to think that Sid wasn't entirely mad when he created Sarah. Not quite the answer I was expecting, but that means that you're also opposed to her dismantling, yes? Very well. We shall continue to observe it. See you all tomorrow. Excuse me, Albus? Sarah? What are you doing now at this hour? Have you completed your tasks for the day? Just a while ago, actually. I see, which means you're off the clock now. May I have a moment to speak with you? I like this music. I like all the music from this game. Ooh. Why the formality all of a sudden? Well, just what am I? That's quite the frank question. Which is odd, 'cause your name's Sarah, not Frank. Am I, on the inside, at least, really? Don't worry, Rudo won't know we're this. Speak your mind. Well, I was created just 2 years ago, right? Yeah. It's strange. Inside of me are what seems to be childhood memories. They stretch back all the way to years and years ago, but I was just created only recently, so that can't be true. Albus, just what am I? Am I a machine that was just born to be a tool? If that's the case, then why was I born with these memories? I have no idea. And as for just what those memories are inside of you, the only person who could answer that question is no longer on this world. That's Sid, right? Correct. Was Sid Zavitz an integral part of your life, Albus?
Yes, he was my best friend. We were practically like brothers ever since we were children.
Does Rudo take issue with the fact that I have these memories?
Well, they certainly don't put him in a good mood, that's for sure. Sarah, let me just give you one word of advice, okay?
Okay.
Do not ever cause any trouble. I'll be frank with you. I'm no longer Albus. Call me Frank now.
I'm going to use that airplanes joke every chance I get.
Rudo's been wanting to dispose of you under the guise of dismantlement. He will find even the slightest excuse to do so, regardless of how minor or trivial the reason is.
Is that because of the memories inside of me?
That's right. Look, Sarah, I want you to listen carefully. If, and only if, you're about to do something wrong, consider that you are betting your entire being on the line. Aww. Do it with the resolve that will be the end of everything.
So she risked her life just to give us some very shitty magic stuff? Which I've completely forgot what it's called by now, because it's been like 3 weeks since I last saw the word. My entire being?
That's right, you seem to have an ego, a proper sense of self-identity. There will come a time for you to assert that sense of self, I'm sure of it.
Myself? But am I not the property of Zavitz Enterprise? If that's the case, then I shouldn't have the right to bet myself, do I?
If only you weren't just a machine. This is important, you'll come to understand someday or another.
Another year passed. Lab 9 was able to produce 3 new prototypes using Sarah as their model. However, not a single one operated as well as Sid's own creation. There is clearly something fundamentally different about Sarah. Far too much time had passed with us not knowing what it really was. The board of directors had been split between those who wanted to observe and those who wanted to dismantle Sarah. Some members switched from observe to dismantle. This was about a month ago. With that, Sarah's dismantlement seemed all the more reality. As the days went on, Sarah's intellect grew rapidly. Using her own methods to measure and improve efficiency in both the mines and the routine work in residential areas, she began to finish her tasks ahead of everyone else. That kind of work ethic and behavior was just like Rune's. Exactly like Rune's. From there, more and more people began to develop a disgust for Sarah's very existence. Wow, what a hard worker. You slut! I think it was because she's too different. There was something about her existence that just triggered something in you instinctually. Just like Rune did. A great deal of people began to consider her as a threat subconsciously. The one who'd been most affected by this was none other than Rudo himself.
Rudo! Is it true? Did you erase Sarah's memories?
Seems like access to Sarah's brains is protected by several levels of security. Although Nijek and Kirki managed to find a way to bypass the first level.
I'm not asking you to explain how, I'm asking you why. Dumbass. All the experience, the information, knowledge she's accumulated.
Albus, you should have realized this by now. It seems that Sid succeeded in recreating Rune's memories quite faithfully in Sarah. How he managed to do so, I have no idea. The way she moves and acts, they're all very reminiscent of Rune's own behavior.
And what does that have to do with why you erased her?
What does that have to do with it, you ask? Plenty. If, by some chance, even a small portion of Rune's own personality existed within Sarah, then there could be no greater threat. I'm sure you're fully aware of how dangerous Rune was.
But...
I'd like to hear an explanation for all this. Do enlighten me on why things have turned out this way.
I'm sorry, sir. I honestly have no clue. Theoretically, all of our methods should be working. Do you know what your name is?
Yes, my name is Sarah. It was given to me by you, Rudo. Looks like it's not working. That's strange. We're doing the erasure procedure by the book. There shouldn't be anything wrong with it. But Rudo, this is just a guess, but you probably need the highest level of access privilege in order to erase the memories inside Sarah's core. We can't do anything with only our mana signature. What about purging its internal mana altogether? If we did that, it would likely cease to function. And not just a likelihood, it will completely and utterly shut down. It will be as good as scrap. Dismantling it would be the least of our concerns. Sir Sid, I'm honestly not sure as to why all these complex safeguards were put in place. Probably to prevent this exact scenario from happening. It's almost as if you didn't want us to erase his memories. Oh yeah, no shit. It's almost as if he's making sure that no one could ever tamper with it. Yeah. Damn. What should I do? If your memories haven't been erased, then you ought to know already. Go back to work. Leave. Sarah, what's wrong at this time of night? Alice, you said that Sid was your best friend and an integral part of your life, right? What brought this on all of a sudden? Friends are important, right? Well, of course they are. There isn't anyone more important in your life than your family and friends. Thank you. And that was the impetus of her doing the thing. Sarah, why? Of all the times for you to do cause trouble. Okay. Why at this critical point? You knew that there's going to be a votation regarding you 4 days from now. I remember the advice you gave me a long time ago. Advice?
Too great was it this time, I swear another emergency summons. No, Sarah, what? Don't you even know how to greet someone?
Good afternoon, Mr. Grogwiles.
It's really nothing but a defective piece of junk. I heard you even stole Simon at the mines earlier. What an absolute waste. We really should just have you dismantled as soon as possible.
I apologize. Discussing that matter is exactly why we've gathered here today. Please reserve your arguments for until the other members have come.
Just how many do you even expect to come? You academics in your ivory tower may not know, but the other members of the board are directors are already speaking as if this matter has been playing short. You'll be grateful that I've even bothered to go through the effort of attend this meeting to confirm all this. Blah.
No one can understand the word I'm saying, I'm sure. I listened back to when I was editing, I'm like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I can't understand word when I do that.
Blah, blah, blah.
Alright, what are these guys' voices again? So that's how it is. I finally understand. You don't seem to quite grasp. This entire series of events has truly been bizarre. What Sarah is exactly, yes? Indeed. However, I absolutely do not want Sarah dismantled. Something inside me tells me so. Tomorrow her dismantlement will be decided upon. I must come up with a way to protect her from that after our meeting. Is that even possible? Isn't the board of directors or something going to determine that by majority votes? If Rudo for some reason changes his mind, I'm sure the direction of the entire meeting will change as well. There are many members who don't really have an opinion and will simply go along with whatever he decides. Elvis? Yes? Please let me meet with Rudo. I was actually thinking the same thing, but I'm sure you'd already know that, right? Correct. Albus's suggestion. We perform a mind dive on Sarah. If we did that, then we can find out Sarah's real identity. However, when it comes to Selphiene's desire to protect the mind dive, it's alright, Ratona. I'm sure he'll understand. Selphine had her own plan, which she had kept only to herself. Even I was unaware of what she had in mind. With only a lingering trace of doubt, we'd head over to Land 9 where Rudo was. Chapter 7. The Measure of a Girl. So this is a laboratory. I thought it was rather unsettling when we spotted it as we roamed around town, but it seems science doesn't mesh well with me. It causes too much discomfort. Well, yeah, you use magic. Let's head inside. Who are you? Rudo! Elvis, I believe we have a strict policy of not allowing any outsiders into the lab, do we not? This isn't time for that. I have something important I need to discuss with you. Cannot wait until tomorrow. I'm in the middle of putting together a presentation and report regarding Sarah's dismantlement. That's exactly why I'm trying to talk with you. I want you to reconsider this matter. How desperately are you going to cling to that thing? Isn't it about time to let go, Albus? Regardless of what you do, the opinion of the board of directors is not going to change. I don't like the gnome music. Give me my music back. Unless I accidentally muted it. Nope, okay. Don't you have more important things to do?
I didn't come here to change the opinion of any member on the board. I'm here to change yours.
What? We want you to cease Sarah's dismantlement.
Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Insert Titus laugh.
No, I'm not going to do that. Who am I kidding? And here I was expecting you to say something else entirely.
Rudo, these two people are mana crafters. This girl, Safine, she used a craft that allows people's consciousness to communicate directly. That craft gives her the ability to let people share memories directly with each other.
Oh-ho.
Do you understand what that means, Rudo? With this, we could all see into Sarah's memories and find out who she truly is. Don't you see the question of Sarah's identity can finally be solved?
No, I don't see Elvis. Let's say hypothetically that Sid Savitz managed to use Rune as a model and implant her into Sarah. Pause this real quick. Rudo doesn't know that these two know all that information. Like, that's pretty much a very big company secret right now. That he just completely talked about to two strangers, not giving a damn that they probably don't know it. Moving on. What purpose would it serve?
For all we know, she may have inherited Rune's memories. How's the accomplishment? I don't know, but it's no exaggeration to say that she may be Rune herself.
Enough with the sorry excuses. And what would lead you to that conclusion in the first place? Regardless of the circumstances, there's no changing the fact that Sarah is a machine. It's nothing more than a prototype of a sister, an automaton, whose development consumed vast amounts of Zavitz Enterprises' own finances. The fact is that Sarah is an object.
But still...
if I may? Sophia had been quiet this entire time, but she suddenly speaks out. Whether or not she is a machine or not has nothing to do with this. The issue at hand is whether or not she is Sarah or Rune. Albus, Rudo, both of you have forgotten something crucial here.
Something crucial?
Yes.
Which is what exactly?
For starters, I'd like to propose my conclusion that she is Rune.
How did you come to that conclusion?
Simply based on what Sid had felt, there is no other possible conclusion. There's no way that an outsider like you could have known what my father was thinking. But I do. Through our dive with Albus, we were able to see Sid's way of life, his entire existence. Sid did not just shut himself in the lab, losing his sanity to desperation. I'm sure he did so to research a way to give your little sister Rudo a second chance at life. He created a heart for her missing emotions. For his own daughter, that so-called hellspawn, he used the path down.
Path down? I see.
If there was a scientific equivalent to the path down, then the possibility would be very likely. Transferring Rune's memories, that's exactly what the path down is. How did I not notice this before? Because you hate science. And if she has emotions, then this entire issue is not even something we should be discussing, regardless of whether she is Rune or Sarah. With dignity beaming from her eyes, Sophine speaks straight to us in a clear voice. It is wrong to deprive her of her will as a being in possession of a mind, heart, and spirit. Being a human or machine has no bearing on the matter. I'm sure I will remember this very moment a long time from now. The moment when this sense of justice was able to penetrate regardless of any country's borders. And Rudo's going to say, no, fuck you. Nonsense.
Rudo, perhaps you realized it. That Sid creates Sarah to give Rune the emotions that she never had?
Absolute nonsense.
If so, then this may be a great precedent that can affect just what our definition of a human is. And if that is the case, then this is no longer a problem confined to just us. Zavitz Enterprises has the right, no, the duty, to confront this ethical issue straight on.
Enough nonsense from you. Sarah does not have a heart. Fine, let's just pretend that were true. Even then, Sarah's able to completely cut its emotions off whenever it's ordered to do something. You can't say anything has a heart when it can just turn its emotions on and off as easily as flipping a switch.
That's...
None of you understand. The kind of being my sister was lurking behind her smile. Her senseless, meaningless acts of evil.
If Sarah has inherited Rune's memories and personality, then there couldn't be anything more dangerous. Still, if Sid succeeded in artificially creating emotions using mana, then... Enough of this foolish speculation. Why don't you use those theories of yours to write a novel or something? Now, if you excuse me, I have more pressing matters to attend to. Rudo! Confound it all, Rudo, we're not done here.
Rudo, if Rune was reborn with emotions, with a heart, then would you be able to accept her as your own little sister? It's already come to a point where there is no clear-cut right or wrong answer. However, as someone who stands above everyone else, you have the right to make that decision. As if you know anything. Hello, literally a princess. Is this all? All that we could have done? The sun, it's rising.